It doesn't take long to say what I do.
Okay, can I sit here?
Sure.
You think it'll hold me?
Yeah, I think I will.
What are you doing? Doing a
Well,
video?
I wanted to get a little bit of stuff about Howard and his Battle of the Bulge information.
Great.
And
Man, I'll tell you, tip your cap to those guys.
oh my God, to you it probably doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot of nothing, you know, because when you're that young,
Yeah,
you just kind of go.
you just do it.
I wanted to know how on earth you got into that. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Iowa, Dubuque, Iowa.
We'll see you down there.
Yeah.
And I got drafted out of high school at 18. And then I was trained out here in California to be someone that could adjust the shells from howitzer cannons onto the enemy. So I did that for 10 or 15 months.
I gotta get that a little bit better.
Oh,
What did you do here? You trained here in California.
trained here at Camp Roberts, California. And
Oh, no way.
Underlegged military reservation. We had our making the war place there, but the camp was where I was.
Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hello. Howard, I have your 2 Tylenols.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hon. Here you go.
Thank you.
Here's your water.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Some more in here, too. Oh, my.
How are
Yeah.
you?
Oh, you're fine.
I'm doing good, Howard.
Mhm.
I'm going to get you
I
some
think they
more
will
water,
come.
okay?
Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
So Camp Roberts was where you were originally stationed out of Iowa?
Yeah, I was the only one that was sent out from Iowa.
Yeah. Well, I happen to have grown up in Paso Robles. How
Oh.
on earth did you handle the heat?
Well, we had to do a lot of running, and then we ran mostly in the creek beds.
I used to fish in that creek, in that
Oh, did
river.
you? Yeah. During the time we were there, the beds were kind of dry.
Yeah. That whole area is known for its dry rivers.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Salinas goes through there. The San Antonio River didn't have a dam yet,
Oh.
and so I would guess it'd go underground part of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so what did you train for?
Trained for being they had what were called they have cannons that have a trajectory.
Yeah.
These are the cannons we were using in the Armored Division. Had 6 cannons for self-propelled per battery. 6 of them. Anyhow, we were trained later on. We didn't have them during the training. They have a howitzer trajectory. So what you want to do is have the trajectory is nice, floats down again and hits the enemy, and you can adjust those things very accurately by watching. And you can. The simplest way is if you miss it by 10 yards left or right, you say 10 yards right, but it had been left. Things like that. But there were other ways you could adjust it on there. That's mainly what we learned here.
Hmm.
We did learn to run the centers too, where the information from the forward observers,
Yeah.
like we were going to be, would come back to them at a center and they would adjust things.
What year?
Let's say, boy, oh boy.
Were you the middle of the war you got over there?
Yeah, I got over there and we landed at Marseille, and it was just after the French scuttled their navy down around Marseille. There are several places around Marseille with ports, and they had scuttled their navy there. That's the first thing we saw when we got off our ship, were the ships that had been scuttled.
So that must have been 43 or 42 or something.
Somewhere around in there.
Yeah, and you were there for about a year or so until you...
No, I was there until we got all the way. We went up the Rhone River Valley into Alsace-Lorraine, and we got stopped there quite a bit. So I got a lot of practice there with the armored shells on the German.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
So
there'd
this-
be a German guy in another hill in some small town.
Must have been after D-Day, right? Just after.
Yeah,
Just after D-Day.
just after D-Day.
Oh, wow. Did you guys land? You landed in Marseille,
Yeah, Marseille has multiple ports.
south
South
of France.
Right, we had to go through into the Mediterranean and up to Marseille
Wow.
to land there. But once we landed, we kind of pushed the Germans up the Rhone River into Alsace-Lorraine. And from there over into Bavaria.
And then, did you guys ever get time off?
Yeah, well, one thing that happened is I did win some kind of a medal, I forget what it is now. But it was because I was doing so well with these adjusting on them. Because I had one case where the Germans were on a hill over here and I was on a hill. And I kept shelling them, and I was getting them pretty badly. And they would shell me, but I was sort of in a house, well-built house. And one thing I did do, there was a German observer over there who was trying to shell us, but their trajectories weren't howitzer trajectories. They were flat. They had these split trail 88 millimeters. That,
It's
they
a
were
pretty big
fireworks,
shell.
yeah. But we had these self-propelled armored division cannons. They were only 120 millimeters, but
That's
they
pretty
were
big
pretty
too.
effective, yeah. You could put them right in there. Yeah. One time, in one location, they kind of got fussed about it. The Germans did. And they came out with a whole big flag, a huge flag, and wanted me to stop selling it.
Yeah.
So I did.
American flag?
Well, it was a Red Cross flag.
Oh,
Great big thing. It took several of them to carry it. Yeah, Red Cross.
and you saw them with your
Yeah.
binoculars and,
So I quit firing.
were they giving up at that point?
Yeah.
Were a lot of Germans giving up and when you were there? Okay, so let's say it's just after
This
D-Day.
would be in
which-
a localized area, you know, and they'd be giving up at that point.
because there's no way out.
Yeah, if they'd gotten trapped in it. Yeah. But finally we did that in several small towns and hills, and mostly in Alsace-Lorraine. And in France, that's where
Did you spend your whole time there in France?
No, we went on into Germany later on,
No.
into the Rhineland. And there was a prisoner of war camp there in the German Rhineland. In fact, I looked it up on the map and it's still a camp. But they had when we used our light tanks to go into their camp, and we released the prisoners. And they not only had English prisoners who've been there 5 years at different camps, and so that was interesting to do. And they also had Jewish people that were kept in there.
What did you guys think of the Jewish people?
I felt really sorry for them.
Oh.
They were almost like skeletons. They didn't have hardly any flesh on them. It was horrible.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I forget that.
Other people in your division, everybody must have just felt horrible.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure did. What a terrible thing.
What a terrible thing. Were the Americans, when they came into those camps, were they ruthless to the German people, or?
Not especially, the Germans wanted to give up, but at once we got there.
Yeah.
So we were more sympathetic with the people that had been in prison.
Oh God, yes.
Some of the prisoners had been in different prison war camps in Germany. And they were people that, when England had its army there, they didn't get off across the channel all the people. So some of the British soldiers had been in prison, various prisons in Germany for 5 years.
Oh, when the Battle of Britain happened,
Yeah,
and they were captured on the French shores.
yeah, that was right. Yeah.
I gotcha. Boy, oh boy.
But we didn't see them until we got to the prisoner of war camp.
Yeah. And they were probably in bad shape too.
Pretty much. Well, they had been in various prisoner of war camps
Yeah.
over the 5 years they were
Wow.
there. Yeah, pretty sad.
Were you scared most of the time?
No, well, when you're firing, you're not exactly scared.
Just doing your work.
Some of the problem would be getting to the post where you'd be high enough to adjust the shells on there. And that would be a little scary.
For snipers?
Yeah, you'd have to go through the front line troops. They'd have people, U.S. men, built into holes in the ground. So when we drove our Jeep down through there, we had to know where they were. That was a big thing. Yeah.
And
Those
then,
were the days.
were you there through the whole armistice? And
Yeah, well, let's see.
where'd you go near the end there?
Near the end, we were in Bavaria, and we had
Oh.
relieved this camp, this prisoner of war camp, that also had Jewish people in
In that one?
it. Yeah, and it's still there now. I looked it up on the computer. It's not anything like it used to be.
I'll bet not.
Yeah, it's just a small thing.
Yeah. Huh. Did you see any of those people after the war?
Let's see, after the war I saw, let's see, my wife and I took trips up to Russia, and I ran into some Russian guy that was in the service. And we talked about the war. He was on the other side. Yeah.
But no Germans after the war?
Well, after the war we occupied for a while, for quite a few months.
Yeah.
And you weren't supposed to fraternize with them. So we didn't. I think the war ended toward the spring of, I can't remember which year it is.
46, I want to say,
Yeah,
45.
Somewhere around
Yeah, 45, I think it was.
there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was looking at that, and now I can't remember it.
Yeah. Hey, you better go down and do your singing.
Okay, Well, we've had enough of this for today.
Yeah.
I'll get more because I wanted to get some information about the town you grew up,
Oh.
and then what the heck did you do after the war,
Oh, yeah.
and then do that. I'm doing this for Pat, and you have two sons as well.
Yeah, the other son is down south of here.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we got to get you in this, right?
Well, I'm not gonna go along.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I thought I'd better stay here.
Okay, well, it's a, you know,
Have a good time there.
whatever you're most comfortable with.
I
But,
hear you're a good singer.
oh, I'm okay. I don't mind. Most of it is not being shy,
Yeah, right, right.
and so I have that about me.